Hey Freebs, Jordan Page from FunCheaperFree.com and BudgetBootcamp.com here. And today I'm gonna show you how to creatively use leftover party food. Oh yes, I am. We had a big party this last weekend and we ended up with about double the amount of food that we needed. Sometimes it happens, sometimes the RSVPs don't come in or you miscalculate. Side note, be sure to RSVP to parties, guys, for this exact reason. So we ended up with 2 full trays of meat and cheese sandwiches, 2.5 complete veggie trays, and almost an entire sheet cake from Costco. Now, you can eat leftovers for a few days, but let me tell you what, after those few days, you start getting sick of the leftovers. So today I'm gonna show you some creative ways to reuse party food and to repurpose it so you don't get sick of it and you don't waste a thing. Don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get on with it, okay? Okay, so with these meat and cheese sandwiches, these guys, believe it or not, freeze amazingly well. If you haven't seen my other video on how we freeze peanut butter and jellies or how we freeze meat and cheese sandwiches for lunch, really, you can freeze bread, you can freeze meat, and you can freeze cheese, so why not freeze them all together? For my kids, I will actually slice these sandwiches in half so they're a smaller size, and then I will just put them in individual Ziploc baggies, zip them up, be sure to get all the air out. And there you go, stick them in your freezer and the kids can just grab and go, and by the time it's lunchtime, it'll be nice and thawed out in their lunchbox. Just make sure that there's no condiments on the sandwich. I like to send my kids to school with little condiment packets if they would like to add condiments to their sandwich. Okay, now I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering about these sandwiches, so let me talk about them real quick. These are actually from Walmart. If your Walmart has a bakery, then most likely they sell these party sandwiches. They're actually 6-foot sandwiches. They feed about 40 people. They're just under $40. That is a lot of sandwiches. I paid $2 extra, or maybe it's $4 extra, to upgrade the cheese from the American fake cheese to real provolone and cheddar. And in terms of party food, it's about as cheap as it gets. Another thing you can do with the sandwiches is to deconstruct them. You can take this bread and you can actually dry it out and make your own breadcrumbs out of it, cube them up and bake them and make your own croutons. You could use the meat and cheese for, well, meat and cheese. My kids like meat and cheese roll-ups in their school lunches. So you could roll this up and secure it with a toothpick and have a nice carb-free snack or lunch. Or another thing you can do with party sandwiches is to just make it look and taste a little different. Just take this exact same sandwich, make an egg wash with a couple eggs and a little bit of milk, dip the outside of the bread in the egg mixture, and then roll it in Italian breadcrumbs. Brush some butter on both sides and bake at 400 degrees for about 8 minutes, and you'll have a melty, breaded, ooey gooey, delicious dinner sandwich made out of party sandwiches that you are otherwise quite sick of. Okay, let's talk veggie trays for a second. These veggie trays are from Costco. They're huge, they're a great price, but let me tell you, there's a lot of veggies on here. So when you have leftovers, there are so many things you can do with leftover veggie trays. One of the obvious things you can do is you can take these veggies and divide up into little sandwich baggies, perfect for on-the-go lunches. My kids particularly love the carrots and the broccoli, so I'll just make little sandwich baggies so they can grab and go and throw them in their lunch for school. So you know how you go to the store and they have a whole aisle of frozen vegetables? Well, what do you think those are? Frozen vegetables. So take whatever vegetables you have left over, except for tomatoes. Don't do it with tomatoes. Throw them in a nice quart-size freezer-safe Ziploc bag, put them in the freezer, and the next time you have a soup or a casserole or a veggie lasagna or even a stir fry, you can use these frozen veggies. One of my favorite things to do with these veggies is to roast them. I take big handfuls of the veggies in the veggie tray, put them in a bowl with a nice healthy drizzle of olive oil, salt and pepper, and roast them in the oven at about 400 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes until they're done. Really, you can't go wrong. Sometimes I'll throw a little rosemary or some garlic seasoning on there, but Let me tell you, roasted veggies are like candy. They are good. Another thing you can do with leftover veggie trays is to make a quick stir fry with them. Whatever you've got, just chop it up a little smaller, throw it in with some oil in a wok or a pan on a really high heat, throw some soy sauce or teriyaki sauce in there, give it a nice healthy fry, serve it over rice with some teriyaki chicken, and mwah, you got yourself some delicious stir fry using all these veggies that you're otherwise sick of eating. Ew. All right, and now for cake. Wow, these cakes are from Costco. They are my favorite cakes of all time because they are huge. They feed about 40 people and they're only $18. But sometimes you end up with a whole lot of cake left over. One of the things you can do is you can just straight up freeze the cake. Cut it into single serve portions, put it in Tupperware containers and freeze it in the freezer. But you know, for me, I don't have enough freezer space to store this much cake. So one creative use that you might not have thought of is to make cake bites. You can Google recipes and cute designs all over Pinterest. There are amazing cake pop designs. The gist of it is you take a cake that's already frosted, blend it up with a hand mixer in a nice big bowl or in a stand mixer, roll them into balls, and freeze them. You can dip them in a coating of chocolate, you can decorate them, and then when you're ready to serve, you just stick sucker sticks inside of them, and they are perfect for parties or just a quick little bite-sized dessert. For me, I like to keep them in double bag Ziploc bags in my freezer. When I just need a little bite of something sweet, it's perfect to pop 1 or 2 cake bites out of the bag and cake bliss. Bonus tips! I don't have one to show you for demonstration, but let's say you have some leftover fruit or fruit trays from a party. The number one thing I would tell you is freeze, freeze, freeze. Fruit freezes really well, even watermelon. You can use it then in slushy drinks or desserts, or in our family, we just use them for smoothies. I've got a video on my channel for these make-ahead morning smoothie bags. Any frozen fruit is good in a smoothie pretty much. Another thing I like to do for berries, like raspberries and blueberries and even strawberries, is to cut them up small and kind of puree them or blend them and freeze them in ice cube trays. And then when you have a party, your guests can opt for a nice sweetened ice cube to go in their water for a nice and natural diffusion effect. And voila, all of it is used and everyone is happy. Okay, so what about chips? Chips are so good to bake with. Plain potato chips are amazing. You can crush them up and make a nice chip topping on a casserole. You can bread chicken in it. You know, shake and bake, like, works great for that. They make a nice crunchy topping on top of green beans or green bean casserole. There are so many things you can do to bake with chips. What I like to do is I go to a website like allrecipes.com where you can search by ingredient, or you could even Google and you will get many ideas there. So with chips, bake them. If they're flavored chips like Fritos, Doritos, onion chips, things like that, consider making walking tacos. So when we go camping, we love making walking tacos with just those little bags of chips. You throw in taco meat, lettuce, sour cream, beans right in the bag and eat it with the chips. I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually drop dead delicious. Make a spin on that and just do it at home. Get a little bowl, crush up some chips in the bottom, and then fill it with whatever you would put inside your taco. Eat it in a bowl like a delicious, weird, broken cereal taco thing, and you will be happy you did. Soda! Our 2 liters, so annoying to anybody else because at a party, you get about halfway through and the guests just decide to not drink it anymore. Wow! Don't dump it down the drain, cook with it, especially dark sodas like Coke, Dr. Pepper, and even clear sodas like Sprite. There are so many crock pot recipes that call for soda. I don't know what the magic is, but they're sugary and they're carbonated, so it really breaks down the meat and makes it so tender and flavorful and delicious. Go search online for a crock pot recipe that calls for soda. Another thing you can use soda for is to bake a cake. All you need is 1 box cake mix and 12 ounces of soda. That's it. So if you have a dark soda like a Coke, you would use a dark cake mix like chocolate or red velvet. If you have a clear or light colored soda like a Sprite, you would use a vanilla or light colored cake mix. 1 box cake mix and 12 ounces of soda. Mix them together, no other ingredients needed, and then bake as directed. And it will be the fluffiest, moistest, deliciousest cake ever. And it's way super easy. Oh, it's a good year. Okay, so there are some of my ideas. I wanna hear yours. Will you please leave in the comments below what you would do with this leftover party food or what you like to do with your leftover party food? Share the wealth, guys, okay? Don't hold out on us. So there you go. What do you think? Hopefully that gave you a little inspiration and shows you that with a little time and a little creativity, you can repurpose party food and not waste a thing. If you like videos like this, will you give it a thumbs up for me? Be sure to subscribe. I do new videos every Thursday, but be sure to hit the bell notification because bonus videos pop up at random and you don't want to miss anything. Okay, I gotta let you go because I need to take care of this food. Wish me luck. See you guys on Thursday.